Okay, good evening. Welcome back. Today we will see the next part in plotlet charts. So before going to that, let's start with type conversion. So generally, uh, in pandas, so few times we need to convert our data into numeric type. Before we have actually converted date time, like true date time, similar kind of stuff we will be doing to pd.numeric because sometimes, for example, we will see in the same row, in the same column, I meant to say. So for there will be numbers, but there will be commas also. Like for example, like 10,000, it will be separated by a comma. Similarly, because of that, what happens? Our pandas data frame consider it as a string instead of a number. So that we will be seeing today how to convert that type of data. So before that, let's go one by one. So let's see what is the question. So how many apps had over 1 billion installations, and how many just had a single installation? So it's like we need to see top and bottom. So what is the installs column? So we already know, like, uncount a number of apps at each level of installation. Convert number of installations column to a numeric data. This is a two-step process. So we have given hint also. So this is the solution. Let's go. Well, let's see how we will be doing that. So yesterday we have seen up to donut chart. I think, yeah, we have modified our all this. So now let's see, this is the challenge. So how many apps has? So the first of all, we have two ways to get whatever the question asked. So we can actually call describe method on the column. So we are using dot notation on the data frame and installs column and describe. So once we run it, so it's like the count, how many installs, like there are 8199 row count is there, and there is a unique, this one. On the top is like units, tens, hundreds, like 1 million something. So here in that column, how many installs are there? This is the number it is giving. So apart from that, we can actually call a dot info also. Like if you see, it will give for every column. On info, we are calling on total data frame, not on the only describe data frame, like only on installs column. So so here it will see whether all the, like because we have, what we did, we have already removed all the nan values, whatever the pre-processing we have done, it's already we have done. So that's why we are seeing non-null count. But if we initially load the data frame and just check info, we will see null column, non-null count, null count. So here seeing it's like if you see here, installs is a non-null and its data type is object. So even if you can see here, the data type is object. And now we have to get this one, like this question. So we have got data type, number of apps at each level of installations. So okay, this we will be doing. Depending on that, we will actually check what app has the like how many apps has 1 billion installations or 1 billion installations. So, for example, Facebook and WhatsApp and Instagrams may have over 1 billion installations. So that number we need to identify. For example, something like this. So generally, what we will be doing, it's app and installs. We are grouping by installs, and we are getting just count. So we are grouping. There are three apps with one installation. So we are not getting. We are not doing the sum. We are just getting the count. So there are 698 with 1000 installations. So it's like our 1 billion installations is like 20, I think. But there are very high number also. But this is actually not useful, like because of the comma characters. So first thing what we can do is we need to remove strings like commas. So how we will be doing, we need to convert into a string object. The data type we need to convert into a string, and then we are calling string dot replace, and we are actually removing comma and replacing with nothing. So empty, we are just removing all the commas whatever in the installs column. And once we do that, and we are converting that string type object to numeric. So here we are using pandas to numeric call. I meant to say this data type conversion. Before we have used the same thing pd dot to date type for a date time to work on date time values. So the same thing. So we are just once we run all this. Now if I just rerun it, no, this is not actually. I want to say not ordered here because of commas is just given a random. So but if you see here, so it is actually ordered. So there is one installation like uh, installs one. For that count, there are three apps. For 5 installations, there are 5 apps. For 10 installations, there are 669 apps. So over 1 billion, there are 20 apps with 1 billion installations. That's what we have did. It will be very handy to get to do the analysis when we want this kind of stuff like so because the comma in pandas it will consider as object. I meant to say we can call it as a string apart from int or float. That's why we have converted removed comma and then we have converted to numeric. So if you don't do that, it will be in string format only. That's why we have converted to numeric. So what when we convert it into numeric, it by default when we do a group by, it automatically orders. We don't need to do anything. It automatically orders like all the values like in ascending order. So now we will be seeing the price column. So the same thing we will be doing for price column also, but again we need to examine. So we need to remove all the apps that cost more than $250, and we need to add a revenue estimate to the data frame column called revenue estimate. So we'll be seeing all this now. So just I'm going back. So convert the price column to numeric data and investigate the top 20 apps in the dataset. Okay, remove all the apps that contest more than $250 from the app.clean data frame and add column revenue. The rest of the column should hold the price of the app times the number of installations. Okay, so price of the app into number of installations. So what are the top 10 grossing apps according to the estimate and output the highest grossing apps? So this is involved a little bit mathematical calculation also. So before that, what we need to do find exactly is first we need to convert price before doing any mathematical operations because we can't do anything on strings, any mathematical operations. So now what we are doing the same thing, we are converting to string first and then we are replacing dollar with empty value. And then what we are doing, we are just converting it back to numeric. And now what we did, we are just sorting using price values ascending equal to false. So it's that we are getting top 20 expensive apps in the dataset. So once we call this, yeah. So if you see, there are above 400, there's 399 question. Yeah, but but if you see here, maximum, if I just go back to again the data set. So this all are seems the same app. So I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. It seems some manipulated data here. So we don't need all the this data. So what happens here is, so this is one of the in 2008 there is a app called I am rich app, the iOS store for $999. So just to show off, so it doesn't do anything. Just look beside gemstone can be used to prove your friends how rich you are. So 7 cells before it was actually removed by Apple. So the same thing actually what it was did. It was same. It was in Android App Store also. Someone copycats the same. It has appeared and it eventually disappeared. We don't get to see any of that I am rich apps. Yeah. So if you see here installations, because if uh, if we go back to data, because there are many installations, but the price is very high, right? $400 is very high. But if you see there are multiple installations, how they have got in such installations? So just by manipulating that it will be free for some time so that everyone will install that app and to appear more legitimate. Now we are not taking this, so how we will be doing? Even if we take, if we take, it will actually misinterpret the data. So this is also one of the data cleaning step. We need to very careful when you are working with any data analysis. So as of now, we can actually just remove all the expensive apps which is greater than $250. So yeah. which is greater than $250. Sorry for that. So it's like, so now what we are doing, we are applying a filter condition. So where price is less than $250 only we don't need which is above $250, so that we will get all the records and we are slicing the data frame. So we will get all the records which is less than $250. So if you see, if we carefully observe also all the these apps are very high above. So below that it's maximum. It is like $80 is the highest. After that, this kind of dubious app. Now if I just sorting a values and then we check it. So ascending equal to false and price is just 5. So sorry, price is just $79.9. So this seems to be legitimate. So because if you see it's only 1,000 installations and price and maximum of the time it's a medical category. So it's, the genre is medical or lifestyle. No, even after removing that also, this is the same. Uh, I mean to say the same. I am a rich person app is still at that at $39 list also. Now we need to do highest paying gross apps. What we will be doing, we are creating a revenue estimate, and now okay, let's see. So revenue estimate column, the same in the challenge, we have revenue estimate column to be created. So what to we have to multiply the installs. So this is the function, and we are just multiplying with the price. And the same now after that, we are actually what we did, we are doing the sorting, again sorting using revenue estimate column here. So here what we did, we have sorted using price column. Here we are sorting using revenue estimate column, and it's like ascending. So because we have kept ascending equal to false, it will be in descending order. So highest revenue, what which app we have? It's like Minecraft is the app it seems, which is having highest revenue estimate because we just multiplied with this one. This is the multiply function. Even if you just if I run this, the same we will get. If I just what I will do, I use direct star. Even if I just do this, sorry, yeah, the same thing we will get. So it's like before I forgot to remove bracket. Yeah, so you can call that multiplication function which is available in pandas, or otherwise you can directly do column multiplication also. So now this is how it was. So now we will be analyzing how the most competitive and popular app categories. So yeah, so using Plotlab bar charts and whatever the data now we have created, this apps.clean using this data frame we will be doing now. can find a number of different categories. So yeah. So what are the different kind of categories? So we are seeing, so if you see here category family, game, photography, lifestyle, weather, medical, there are few medical, lifestyle, medical also there, but we are as per our revenue estimate, it is not showing. These are the top 10. So maximum of them are games only. So there are 32 unique categories. So now, but we want only just we want only top 10 categories. So the same what we are doing, we are calling in from category column. We are calling value counts method, and we are actually slicing it to 10. So here we are using list slicing. So where we used to have the same kind of slicing in the list. So here we want only top 10 rows from starting to 10. So yeah. So if I just change, for example, if I just change to 20, yeah. Now if I just remove this, so it is displaying all 33. So beauty is having the least uh, apps as per category. Yes, I'm just keeping it. So we will be checking only top 10. Okay, so family is having the highest apps according to category. Family category is having, next comes game, and then comes tools, and there are few other photography, medical, finance. Now we have created a data frame, like a top 10 categories data frame. So, yeah. So now it's like to visualize. We before we have seen a pie chart. So now we are seeing a plotting a bar chart. So the same. So before we have called pie, now we will be calling a dot bar. So again, it's the fundamental remains the same. So here the x axis we are passing because the bar chart is having x and y axis. So index. So here if you see it is an index, category is the index, and these are the values we are plotting. So now if you see, yeah, family, so game, tools, productivity. So now again, so this is very simple way, but so now this is directly we can get, but what if we look at a different perspective? What- So yeah, I meant to say, so how often apps are downloaded in that category and popular category. So first we have to group all our apps by category and number of installations. Yeah. So now we are grouping our app like category, and we are actually depending on installations, how many installations are done. So we are calling aggregation. uh, I think we already discussed this. So we are calling aggregation method and we are calling sum. So for each category, how many installations are done, and then we are just sorting values depending on. So here, okay, if you see, I want to see. Dot head. Yeah. So now category. So for events, there is highest number of. Okay. Okay. So okay, this is highest ascending equal to true because we have keep ascending. So events is having the lowest number of installs. Sorry if I just keep it as false. Let's see just for. So here we have game has highest communication tools, productivity and social. So we will be plotting again all this now. So just I am reverting back. So now if you see the x-axis as category, now what we are doing, we are plotting an horizontal bar. So now y-axis will be the index. So for example, if you see here, and x-axis will be the number of this one. How many installations are done? So here, we are using the same bar plot. Just like for donut chart, we are used pi only. Similarly, for horizontal bar chart also, we'll be using the bar only. But here we have to provide the orientation is equal to h, and we have to change the axis accordingly. And we are just calling a popularity like title, and we're updating layout like x-axis title equal to number of downloads, and y-axis title is equal to category, and we are calling graph to show. If you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, we are having 17. Okay, only 17, but I just, yeah. So if I just see here, so actually the mentor says the graph is uh, not exactly it is showing, but it is actually populating all the 33 things. So for example, if I zoomed it out, so now I can see events, beauty and parenting. If I just parenting is this one. Now if I just double click again, if I just go to game, so it's like 13.6 billions installations are done for gaming category. Again, I say this is very interactive. For example, I just want to check all up to this one, how many categories are coming. So even those are not visible, you can actually see like, for example, yeah, 97 millions. A Plotly is very interactive graphical interface. Even we can zoom, for example, whatever I added is zoom. So lasso select zoom in, zoom out. So we can again do the same thing. Can download it also. Like I just want to check how it is displaying when we download. So the main thing we need to see is what is the orientation we need to pass, and then installations. So generally, uh, when we are plotting, it will be y-axis will be the installations and x-axis will be the index. So, but for plotting horizontal, it would be reverse. Yeah, it's showing the same thing, but yeah, once if you download, you can't zoom in, but only when are using interactive environments or any editor, then only we can actually use all the tools. Okay, now going back, the same thing what we have did. Now, the final part for today is like the scatter plot. So now what we will be doing now, we will see games and tools actually are most popular categories. If we plot the next two apps in that, so we will be something like this kind of scatter plot we will be creating. So generally, so how we will be seeing is, so this is the concentrated and popular, and these are actually unloved and concentrated. So these are actually diverse and popular. So yeah, this we are categorically we have to divide depending on the graph. So this is one of the use case for scatter plot. The same thing. So now we have to create a number of apps in one column and number of installations in another using the same category. Like as of now, if you see here, we are just seeing installations and category, but we don't have any apps in that this category installations. What are we did by group by. Now what we'll be doing, we'll be creating this data frame. We which we need to get apps and installations also, and then we will be plotting this. So these are the actually how to plot scatter plot, how to references. So you can just take it. So before what we'll be doing, we will be so now so we are using all our knowledge here. So now because we can't directly do group by and get this one. So what we'll be doing, we are creating another data frame where category number will give number of apps. So now the same thing we are using apps clean data frame and we are grouping by aggregated app and we are getting only the count, not the sum here. So in that category, how many apps are there? So we need to get that count. Now what we will be doing, we are creating one final data frame using already category installs. Data frame we have already plotted in this category installs and we are merging this data frame with whatever we created on category and how is like inner. So whatever categories are in both data frame, so this is the key column and how equal to inner. So we are doing the inner, just it's like SQL inner join, and then just we are doing this one like shape dimensions, and then we are just sorting the values. Again, if you see it, it would be the same game. So we have got category as the index and apps and install. So app, so in game there are 910 apps. Installations is like 13 billion around. Communication there are 257 apps and yeah, 11 billion around. Yeah, and tools there are 719 apps. Yeah. Now the scatter plot. So we have to pass parameters like a data frame, x-axis, y-axis, how to plot. So let's see what exactly. So now we are passing the data frame. So on x-axis it will be app, on y-axis it will be installations, and title is uh, category concentration. So hover is I will explain what is hover, and color is like okay, not exactly the color. Either, so here we have to be very careful what we need to pass. So for example, color either name or a panda series values from music test and colors to marks. Yeah. So either a name column or a panda series array object. So where it will assign this one. So this is we have to check how how and why scatter plots are needed. So, but here we are just giving axis on x axis it will be app and y is installation and title is and hover name it's like index column is nothing but the category column and installations like the same thing we are passing. So it will assign the color for that all that concentrations are to it. And then we are giving title like number of apps, lower or more constant by x-axis title and y title is installations. So we are creating a dictionary is equal to log. Okay, let's see what exactly it is. Mhm. Okay. So then the same thing again. We are just calling the show. Okay. So if you see here, okay, family app installation. So number of apps lower equal to more concentrated. And this is the lower installations and lower apps. So yeah. And here for family we have nearly 1606 apps for game, but so these three categories are separated. So if I just so so this is a trend. So for example, the tools and games have many different apps and sharing a high number of downloads. So here, both in family category, the downloads are also high, and the I want to say the apps is also high. But there are few categories where the downloads are less, and there is high number of apps also, like and like less number of apps also. Here there are less number of apps, but if you see, it's actually more concentrated. Like so, we have very high number of downloads for a specific kind of apps. So I just zoom this. Personalization. So for this communication, we have having around 11 billion installations. So if we carefully observe, so the dot, the scatter dot is actually depending on the number of apps, it is actually growing in size. So if it is, for example, if you take family app, it is having around 1600 not 6 apps. But if I just take here, it's having only 257 apps. So yeah, depending on the number of apps and number of downloads also, it's like it it varies. So this is the like a color plot. So installation. So here if you see, it's like so this is having around 13 billion installations, and this is having around 4 billion installations. So if we just carefully observe the color plot, so that's what we have passed the color, what color it should be installations. So we have passed the same column. Okay. So again, this I think this is our access log. And okay, so this dict and we are passing into access. It's like it automatically scales. I think that's why we are having this. like 10 billion. So depending on the installations, like it automatically creates a dictionary for both of these. Like, yeah, mm, yeah, yeah, that's it for today. Yeah, so yeah, again, the scatter plots is one of the very important element when plotting and when to check in this use case, for example. Yeah. So how which apps are which category apps are more famous and which category apps are having higher dense like concentrated downloads or higher number of apps on which category. So this is one of the use case which is very uh, better, like very useful. So yeah, you can try around this and let me know. Let me check this also, so exactly what it is doing, and then I will be discussing this in tomorrow's class. Thank you.